And we are live.
Okay,
Hello.
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 Hello, Daniela. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Sasha from the WildSasha, as you can see. So we're here for the first edition of BOOKUSSION. BOOKUSSION for book and discussion. It wasn't my idea, so bravo to the ladies. I will let you introduce yourself. Go ahead. Who first?
Okay,
You go first.
so hello, I'm Lucienne from the Dreamy Reader. That's my channel, and I'm really excited for today. Like, I'm also a little bit nervous. So, yes, that's the mood.
Okay, this is me. I'm from the Reading Witch. I'm also quite nervous, but also very excited. And I'm very looking forward to our discussion.
Okay. So first question. When did you join BookTube?
Oh my gosh. So that was like the only thing that I didn't look up.
You don't remember?
I mean, I don't really have a date, but I joined like last year during the reading rush. I did like the video challenges. So that was when I did my first few videos, yeah.
Okay, so it says 2019 I joined, and yeah.
Okay, I joined BookTube in January or February 2018. So, yeah. Oh my God, you have on Twitter. I love it. Yeah. Well, not me.
Beautiful lady designed.
And it looks like Mooney. I'm sorry.
That's supposed to be.
So yeah. So okay, today we're gonna talk about BookTube 101. Just putting out there, we are not gonna give tips on how to grow your channel or whatever. I'm no one to give you any tips on that. We're just gonna talk to you about the software we use, the tips we would give to newbies, popular videos, IDs, etc., etc. So you're all gonna see there is some kind of structure, but we'll see how that goes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We'll answer them. And yeah, so the first thing is actually before joining BookTube, what did you do? Like for instance, before joining BookTube, I just watched I don't know what I was looking for. I think I was looking for some kind of review or whatever. And I saw a video from Book Roast, and it wasn't a review video. She was doing this box versus this box, like which bookish box is better. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just the coolest idea ever. And 2 days after, I created my channel. So I didn't do much before BookTube. I wasn't like a big BookTube watcher, viewer, but I would definitely advise to maybe watch a bit more of BookTube before joining. So I don't know, did you join when you found out about BookTube, or you were already a viewer?
So I viewed BookTube for, I believe, a year before I joined. So I still remember the first video I stumbled upon. Like, I haven't even researched it. It was just a recommendation from YouTube, and that was a Clockwork Reader. And I loved her videos. I was like, oh my God, there are people talking about books on YouTube. That's the best thing I ever saw. And then I just stalked the community, and one day decided I want to enter.
Well, I've been watching BookTube, I think, since 2017. And also with me completely randomly, a BookTube video just came up and was like a bookshelf tour by Emma Books.
Oh yeah.
It was like a bookshelf tour with so many different books, and I discovered this whole community. And I've been a passive watcher for those 2 years. And then a few months before I started, I was like, I would love to do this, but I'm not brave enough. So basically I needed the reading rush to push me on then.
Yeah. And so before talking about software, gears, etc., what type of advice, tips would you give to a newbie? For instance, I would say research BookTube, check what it is about, maybe learn a bit about the vocabulary. when I
Yeah.
stumbled upon like
Yeah.
the first video, someone was talking about TBR, and I googled TBR. I couldn't find it. So like that's how I discovered what BookTube was actually about. Like TBR, wrap ups, whole, unholes. I learned a whole
Mm.
new vocabulary, and also then after that, I was like, okay, I want to start my channel, but what's my channel's name gonna be? And so I looked different possibilities, and I checked like if I could have the same nickname, username on different platforms, etc. So that's the type of advice I would give. Research, see what you like on BookTube, see what you don't like, meet new people, maybe connect before creating your channel, and then just do it. Just do it.
But I have to say, definitely the connection part is kind of hard. Like I had troubles with that as well a lot when I started out, and it took me a year because now I finally got into this Twitter thing, and I really would advise go on Book Twitter, make friends there, because that's where most interaction really happens. And if I had known that sooner, then I probably would have had more fun the last year doing BookTube, because I would have be able to interact with more people and just like find friends and everything, and that would have been so much more enjoyable than struggle 1 year nearly alone with BookTube. And also have fun with the videos you make in the beginning. Like you don't need to make something that is excessively popular. I mean, you can do it because web apps and TBRs are like evergreens on BookTube, but do something that is fun. You don't need to start off with a went video. Until when you enjoy it, you can of course do that, but take a book you love, talk about it, because the joy always comes through in your videos. And I think that's what I love to watch most when I go to watch other channels.
I think I would say that you shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself because you're putting yourself out there. Everyone can see you on the internet, and that is kind of true, but then you're not going to have like a million people who watch your videos right from the beginning. You can make mistakes and you can mess up editing and everything, and that is totally fine. But also don't expect like a million followers in a month, because there's just most of the times not going to happen. I think that is what I would say.
Yeah. Let's check some comments. I watched BookTube for a year before joining, and I found BookTube because I was looking for Kindle reviews and found Kaz from Little Book All. Yeah. I really want to join BookTube, but for one, I don't read half as much as many of the booktubers here, and second, I am reluctant about friends or the people I know finding it and making fun of me. Okay, so the thing is that since I started my channel, I kept saying everyone, you don't need to read 20 books a month.
Yeah.
You just need to read one book a month that you liked, or even none, because you just didn't feel it. And BookTube is one of the platforms I feel like your channel doesn't have to be only about books, because we are not just books. So you can talk about any other of your passion. You can talk about the food you eat in your vlogs, etc. And everybody is going to care about that. The people following you will care about that, because you're relatable. You're not just a bookish person, if that makes any sense. And the second point was, the friends, etc., etc. I got a question recently from Dana from Porline channel, and she was like, "You're very open in your videos. What's your limit? When do you stop yourself from telling how you're doing, for instance?" And I always think about, do I mind my family hearing what I just said? Do I mind if my boss finds about one of my video? Do I mind blah blah blah? If the answer is no, then just upload it. And I don't think you should be scared of people finding out, because you're having fun, and people love seeing people having fun and being all like laughing and smiling and happy. So I don't think that should stop you, but that's a valid point. Like, I understand you for being scared of that and for maybe not wanting that.
Yeah, I think
definitely.
then it is also important how much of yourself, like of your identity, you put out there. I mean, personality is a big thing, I personally think, because a personality is well connected to people. about your identity. You don't even have to give yourself a name, really. And you don't have to share your social media with everyone. You can create separate accounts for your bookish interactions and just use them. You don't really need to tell anyone about it. So I think that is also a point to consider.
Yeah, definitely. And about the books to read, like there's isn't a certain amount of books you need to read as a booktuber. Like Sasha, I really loved your video where you did your web up and you just said I have read any books this month, and I loved it so much because it was such a good video for me to watch at that moment, because I was like, haven't done anything either. And that was so great. My heart really lightened up, and I just think we should be more honest when we don't read, because that's normal. Like there are other things happening in our lives. We work maybe 8 hours a day or longer, and then we also have family to take care of and everything. So it's okay if you don't read so many books. I sometimes just read one book a month or maybe nothing. So that's fine. And also,
I don't know if go ahead.
And also about friends and family finding out, I also really struggled with that. But for some reason, my family just found out, like my parents just randomly found it. And so yeah, and now everything is fine. It's like they watch regularly and they love it. My mom even tries to read some books that I talk about. So that's really nice to see.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Sasha, you wanted to say something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't upload February wrap-up or March wrap-up. So I'm putting it out there. I haven't read anything in February and March. So that's fine. Oh, she's not here. She left. I don't know. Maybe she has an internet connection. She will be back.
Okay.
I Google. Thank you. I feel better.
Whoops, my internet was gone for a second.
It's okay, no worries. So thank you. I feel better. Hi, Tamar. I'm so happy I'm not the only one who didn't know what TBR meant.
I love that you had to Google YA, because that was what I had to do as well.
Yeah, but people like MC. What's MC? Main character. Okay, duh. Like when you just at the beginning you don't know this kind of stuff, and that's fine. And at the beginning I was like, okay, maybe that's just me because I don't speak like English or whatever. And then I was like, and I saw English native people looking for those words. I was okay, thank you. I'm not the only one. I've been part of the book community in 3 years, but it's only this been active with Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and so on. I really feel like that's a great way to actually interact with people and to feel more comfortable in front of the camera, but also like you learn about yourself. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but you try stuff on the BookTube community and all the comments you get back and the feeling you get back really motivate you. And I feel like that's, I don't know, like my pack means the world to me. You know what I mean? Like that's, I think the community part here is important, but not only on BookTube. Also on Bookstagram, BookTutor, and Readathons. I don't know if you agree. I think we all agree on that, but I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
The number of books you read doesn't really matter. And there's not a big chance of someone from your life finding it. Well, true and not true. No, I mean, it's totally true because the chance someone's going to find you on the internet is slim. But when you live with your parents, they're going to hear you talking in your room. So I think it depends on the situation. Like at the beginning, I was like, yeah, I'm just doing something for fun, talking to a friend or whatever. And then I explained everything. They still don't understand what I'm saying because they don't speak English, but they support me.
But I think there's also an interesting point, like with me, for example, my parents don't speak English, or at least don't understand it really well. And my friends, most of them don't as well. So that is also a thing. They might know that I'm doing this, but they don't really watch the videos because they don't understand them either.
Mm. I found BookTube because my mom told me about BookTube. She read about it. She read it about. Oh
In
wow,
the
that's
newspaper.
this is
Wow.
amazing.
How
I
did
didn't
that
know they were
happen?
talking. Yeah, Netherlands, like they're pretty good about it, I guess. You have a lot of readers, like in the Netherlands. I feel like they read pretty interesting books at school, from what I've heard. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, that's really cool.
Mhm.
Please include food in vlogs, everyone. We'll do our best. I'm pretty open in my videos because on Twitter I'm already very open. Yeah, as I said, like offline, Twitter is my rent place, is my rent platform. It's like my online diary that everyone can read, which is not always a good idea. You feel better after, I feel.
Oh yes, definitely.
I know that I only have 2 videos on, but I have 3 in the making. Congratulations. That's not awesome.
Mhm.
I had to look up stuff like OTP. See? Yeah, that's why you should do research before joining BookTube, so you know that what people are talking about. Oh wow, from 2017 in 2018 Instagram.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I believe
because
being active in the comments is also very important to connect to
Yeah,
people.
definitely.
Like
yeah.
I struggled with that because I'm a little bit more. I love people coming to me and talk to me, and I'm not really that active at starter talk. So that's what I also struggled with. But I believe it really helps. And what helps the most is to know everyone here is mostly nice on BookTube. Like I never had an account. Yeah, there could be people that maybe have a bad day and then they answer maybe a little bit more roughly. So, but this issue can be solved. So people are nice here and really understandable, and you can reach out to everyone. So you don't have to think about too much what you comment on the videos, as long as you are nice as always.
Yeah, but then I would also think about what you comment, because if you only
Yeah.
comment like, would you check out my videos?
Okay,
Instead
yeah,
of like
that's
anything about the video, I would say that's maybe not the best.
yeah, that's not cool.
No, I would check, like, for instance, someone's wrap-up video, and that person's gonna talk about a book that I love, that they hated. I would say, oh, okay, I talked about that book in my vlog or whatever, but I love that. So you can say that you have a BookTube channel. You can make it understandable, but maybe don't say check out my channel, because so many, like for instance, me in my YouTube studio, those kind of comments, they're held. So you don't see them most of the time, because YouTube, whenever YouTube sees a comment of that type, like check on my channel or please check that or whatever, it's on hold, because YouTube consider a spam. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if it happens for you, but I know for me, I have, like, if I don't check the spam, like the on hold or whatever, I have like 100 comments there, and most of the time they just like check that. But most of the time the channels, like random channels, they're not bookish people trying to connect, but know that your comment might get lost in that amount of comments. If that makes any sense. Okay, just here putting it out there, I got fever today. I was sick, so if I don't make sense, please let me know in the comments. That's gonna be your mission. Okay, so everyone know now. I was lost in the comment now. Also, my brother actually edits my videos, so my parents also know it. They watch my first video in the first hour in one live. Okay, so talking about softwares, what do you use actually to edit your videos?
I use DaVinci Resolve 16, and before I used Adobe Premiere But basically because I had it from like school, so that was the reason why I used that. And also we had the software at work, so we got it as well. And yeah, but it's not my favorite. I have to admit, Adobe is crashing a lot sometimes when you want to make like add more graphics or anything. So I believe that's really a struggle, but I believe it's great for people that get into editing.
Yeah. I started out with a free VDSC editor, just a random one from the internet that also lagged a lot and couldn't do much. But for my purposes, it was enough. Now, recently, I got Filmora Wondershare, I think it's called. I'm not sure which one is like the main title. And that works pretty well, but I'm paying for it. So got kind of the whole pack there.
Okay. I started with iMovie because it was on my Mac. And then after I moved to Final Cut Pro, but I only upgraded it because I didn't pay for it. So I got it from someone. And actually, I really believe you don't need to pay for software at the beginning. Like, I'm glad I started out with iMovie and I learned the basic. So when I got to Final Cut Pro, I was lost at the beginning because you have so many options and you don't understand them. And just the fact that I used something free that was simple helped me like get better or get used to the program. So I don't think you need fancy software to start with.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's true. Like anything that lets you edit a video is a good software for you to start.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've also heard people make great videos with Movie Maker.
Yeah.
Just like the very random standard program I've heard also works very well.
Windows Movie, right? On Windows PC. I don't know what's the name. So yeah, it's and like I started filming in front of my window. And natural light. And I started actually with my DSLR. But I had a very old DSLR, 10 years old, that you couldn't flip the screen. So I couldn't see if I was in the frame or not. Then I switched to my phone, which is I don't have it anymore, but a OnePlus. So it wasn't like an iPhone or whatever. And that's how I started in front of my window. And then one day, like I work a lot for my actual job, like 50 hours a week easily. So whenever, and sometimes Saturdays, etc. And I just felt like I wanted a ring light to be able to film early in the morning or in the middle of the night. I didn't need that ring light. It was just because it was easier. So I got one. So the window is all you need. The light, natural light, it's free. I think that's all you need. But now, if you want fancy and you want the nicest camera, you want a mic, you want everything, and you have the possibility to get it, go for it. Like,
yeah. But also do your research on the stuff.
Yeah.
Like really research your equipment that you want to use, because elsewhere you end up with not so good stuff. Like especially with microphones, I see a lot of people that bought microphones, for example, on Amazon, and then they're really unhappy with it. You can see that in the star ratings, and I'm just like, yeah, but you could have researched more about it, and then you wouldn't have lost your money on it. Or maybe it's just the microphone just dies after you've used it for some time, and then you can't return it. That's like the worst case scenario, actually. That can happen, and try to avoid that. Like, in best case, ask other YouTubers or booktubers what they use, because that's probably gonna work for you too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I feel like BookTube is mostly the unicorn and rainbows parts of YouTube. Other communities are much less friendly. I think because we live in a bookish world, we read a lot. We are more like do you say empathetic in English? And I feel that's why. And I feel also because mental health is a big part of the bookish community.
Yeah.
We talk about that and inclusivity a lot. And I feel that's one of the best community out there. And
Mm.
I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe I said something wrong, but that's the way I see it actually.
Mm.
No, I
Well,
agree.
yeah, I agree too. I like the point you made with the mental health. I also think it is because we like discussing like books so much, like different kinds of views and opinions, which is why we respect another a bit more than like in a drama community or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
I do not particularly like TBR or wrap up videos. I often skip books. I'm not interested in. Yeah, I mean, not every video is for everyone, but I feel like
Mm.
when you're a newbie, you know that if you don't have any ideas, bookshelves, shelf tour, my God, shelf tour, wrap ups, TBRs, hauls,
Mm.
tags, the BookTube Newbie Tag, um, how you annotate books or ebooks
Mm.
versus books, audiobooks versus books,
Mm.
etc. You have those videos that you can find on a lot of channels, and they will
Mm.
always be unique because you are unique and you will add something different to it. So I feel like that's also comforting to know that you have those
Mm.
basic videos. You don't have to create your own tag right away. If you can, do it. Like if you're creative, do it. If you
Mm.
can create a readathon from scratch, do it. But you don't have to do it from the very beginning. I feel
Mm.
like something like when you grow up, you learn about yourself and you test stuff. Like, do
Mm.
I like pistachio ice cream? You never know until you try it. And that's the same for booktube. You're going to try different type of videos, you're going to try different types of like editing of musics, etc., and you're going to find your own style at the end. So don't be afraid to make mistakes because they're never going to be
Definitely.
mistakes. Like if you want to feel better, check my first video, my booktube newbie tag. I look like a scared little puppy on the corner of my room. And I speak like this, and I'm like that. So just watch it. It's going to make you feel better.
Oh,
I do all the collection bits on Twitter, and sometimes I just react on Instagram stories. Yeah,
Yeah.
booktube is everywhere. I mean, like the bookish community. I've had to check out my channel comments as well, and it's probably held in
Mm.
spam because they comment it on so many videos. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that's it.
Mm.
Hope you feel better. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
So I do. Thank you. Oh, Da Vinci rocks. And another one, Da Vinci. My laptop. Are you?
Oh
Mm,
man.
yeah. Use Wondersure for
Oh yeah.
more.
Mm.
Kind of hard. Yeah, but
yeah. I so I am lucky because I actually learned this stuff. Like I studied it. Like I'm a how do I say that in English? So I started being a media designer for video and audio.
mm,
Oh,
But I
interesting.
also, yeah, so I always have, normally I would have a high standard, but the thing is when it comes to my booktube videos, I really separate that from my work because that's like for me and my free time. So I try to not overwork myself with that and have like such high expectations when I do these videos. Also because I don't have the professional equipment from work at home, so that's also a problem, of course. But DaVinci is a pretty hard platform to start out on if you've never learned editing in university or school. That's what I really agree on because
Okay.
you usually start off with 3-point editing in university or school. So, and that's something that people that never learned it will never do. And that's really what DaVinci is about. And DaVinci is also a software that includes a lot of graphic design as well. You can do anything from scratch in that software. And also the audio editing is quite hard. And I'm I work in the audio department at the moment, and me saying that, I really tell you, don't start out audio editing with DaVinci, because that's like the worst thing you can do. So maybe just do the basic, like set up your gain in the beginning and don't care so much about compression or gates and anything. So just the basic stuff for audio in the beginning. Not
You're
not
already
fancy
confusing me.
Yeah. I edit on my phone. I have vlogs. I just don't post with KineMaster. Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
don't
what I
know how
used at the
you
very
manage to.
beginning.
Yeah.
For the very first video, which I never uploaded.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, just upload it and see what happens.
Yeah.
I film with my phone, but I don't know how you manage to edit on your phone. Actually, that's something I never tried. But I'm still figuring out angles. In my most recent film wrap up, I completely failed to show the books in the video. But I mean, that's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely
Completely
fine.
fine.
Yeah. If we need to look for the book, we can Google it. So that's fine. No worries.
And I mean, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And editing, you can add the cover. I hate the fact I did not give the extra 50 for Blue Yeti.
What's that?
I've never heard of that.
Someone help
Is that
me.
like an option or whatever with DaVinci or whatever? Did I say too many times whatever?
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
I still want a camera, but I first want to figure out some other things about like the place where I film and how I want to edit. Learning about everything at the same time is intense. Yeah, for sure, it's intense.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take some time, but don't feel discouraged. It's okay. You're learning as long as you're having fun.
And you can experiment. You can just film in different positions, and you don't need to set yourself a certain place at the beginning.
I get it. I'm just old. Okay, how old are you? Because I'm turning 30 this year. So if you're telling me you're younger than me, yeah,
I know what to do.
yeah. I did my Newbie Tag 14 months after starting my channel. Well,
That's also great.
Yeah, there is not like a deadline or whatever. I just feel like the Booktube Newbie Tag or any type of newbie tag, depending on what what community you're trying to be a part of, you can do it whenever. It's a great time, like a great opportunity to actually connect with people. We always say
definitely.
do it at the very beginning, but I feel that's when you tell someone, yeah, do the Booktube Newbie Tag first and then do other videos. I just feel like it's because it's going to help you feel better. Because the YouTube algorithm is not everyone's friend. And the Booktube Newbie Tag is something a lot of people are looking for every single day. They're searching for those videos. So you're going to connect, like, I don't want to say faster or whatever, but people will find you. And that might motivate you to actually make other videos. So that's why we say it's a great way to start with it. It doesn't mean that you have to start with it or that's not okay to do it 1 year after. It might help you feel better because you have people's reaction like almost like immediately after you upload the Booktube Newbie Tag.
And it did help me because of the questions in that tag to figure out where I wanted to go. So maybe there's also something to do after a few test runs, maybe, of videos you just want to do because of fun, to then do the newbie tag.
Yeah, I also think that the structure a tag gives you is really comfortable for people starting out on YouTube in general. So like if you have questions, I also always like, for example, TBRs, because you can just get through your books and you don't really need to be so creative because you always have something you can get back to, be it a tag with questions or like the books you're talking for the month. So I think that's great.
Feel more apparently it's an easy one.
It's pretty easy.
DaVinci. I'm going to get a new computer or laptop so then I can edit my videos first. Lucky you. When I got a new laptop, editing got so much easier and quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can understand that. Especially because when you get like when you use like let's say Final Cut Pro on an older computer, it's gonna lag all the time and it's gonna take you longer to actually edit. But that's annoying, but you get used to it. And whenever you have like, and once you have your new computer and it doesn't lag as much, you then realize how much time you wasted. And then it cannot lag anymore because you won't accept it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Multi-band compression is the reason why I love DaVinci, but then again, I have dabbled in music production for a while. It's very interesting to work together with my brother. He is way more visual and I think way more audio and text related. That's good that you can work with your brother. That's a teamwork. That's awesome.
It's really nice that he does that.
I film and edit on my phone too. It's not easy, but I'm used to it. If it works for you, fine.
Yeah,
that's perfect. It's a really good microphone. Oh, okay. I didn't do any research on mics, so I'm sorry about that.
But maybe we could talk about which microphones we use, or if we don't use any at all.
37.
Well,
okay, you're not old. You're older than me, but you're not old. Everyone thinks actually that I'm younger, which when I was younger, I actually complained about that because I remember I was 21 and I went to the store like H&M or whatever. And I asked a question to the lady selling stuff. She was like, kids are over there. I'm like, what? And I got, So, you know, the pictures you can find sometimes on the internet, like teenager today, teenagers in the 90s. Like I felt so relatable. Like, you know, never mind. You don't need a picture of that. But
well, actually, now I do.
I will send you some.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty impressive. Book tag because that's relevant and after. Yeah.
I'm collecting tags. I've never heard of that one.
Also, to everyone, if your second video gets way less views than your first video. Yeah. That doesn't mean that your video wasn't good or whatever. Just maybe people got busy at that time or something blew up on the internet or whatever. It's not you. It's never you. And more engagement in that video than. Yeah. Yeah, true. Thank you. But it's better that way, actually. So younger than I actually. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, microphone. What do you use? What do you use to film your videos? Who wants to start?
Okay, so with me it's easy. I don't use any microphone. I started out filming on my tablet because I had one for school and that was just easier to set up. Otherwise I would have used my phone. And now I've basically stolen like a normal camera from like my stepfather because he doesn't use it that often, and now it's mine. And yeah, recently I got a ring light, but I'm still not sure whether I will get a microphone soon or whether I'll wait.
Yeah. So
I mean,
go.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I have questions for you after. Go ahead.
So first, I started out on my phone as well, and I think the phone is great for beginning because the phones these days have a really high video quality already, sometimes better than some photo cameras. And then also the audio is way better than in most cameras. Like you sometimes have in the cameras these built-in microphones and they are actually worse than your smartphone audio. So I think that's a great way to start with your phone. Also, you don't have to spend extra money if you're tight on that. So I started out with that. And then I had the lucky opportunity that my partner actually bought himself a video camera, like the Blackmagic Pocket. And since then, I always use that when I'm filming with the Rode Lavalier Go microphone, because I don't really like I don't know the English name at the moment, these point microphones, like these long ones that you can put on the camera.
Yeah.
So I don't know the English name at the moment. And so I always love ones that I can stick just here and then talk like a little clip microphone. So that's the most easy for me. And also I don't have to speak so loud so that I can to the camera. So that's really nice.
So as I said at the beginning, I started with my DSLR, switched to my phone, and now the only thing I'm using is actually my vlogging camera. So that's the Canon G7X. I don't have a mic. I don't have anything. What I do is when I edit my videos, I just play with the settings for the sound. So I take off some background noises, etc., etc. It's still not perfect when you compare it to professional videos, but I'm content. Like as long as you can hear me, I'm fine with it. I don't think it's horrible. The camera is not like at far away. It's like maybe here. So the mic works okay. Like I don't have to scream or whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's all I use. And a ring light. Because I love filming at 5 a.m. in the morning or at 11 p.m.
Wow. I respect you so much for that.
That's the funniest kind of videos, because I usually have like the video is gonna last 15 minutes maybe, but I have 2 hours of footage because I just don't make sense half of the time, and I'm having fun watching that nightmare behind the scene. But we have a question. Do you remember the first booktube you subscribed to?
For me, it was Emma Books, because she was the first one I found, and then the first one I watched because I was mind blown that this existed.
Yeah, for me it was Clockwork Reader. So Hannah was the first one I subscribed to because I stumbled upon her.
Me, it was Book Roast. So G over at Book Roast. That was the first one I found. And but I don't know when. Yeah, it was like over 2 years ago. So
Wow.
yeah, like you said, home book tag, some kind of tag that's relevant. There are so many tags that I was. Yeah, I know what you mean. No microphone yet. I haven't researched how to use one with Canon. Oh, the same as I honestly don't know how you could. Maybe if you plug the mic to your phone, you can record and then you can synchronize the video to the audio. So that's a possibility, but honestly don't know how it works. I have a USB Trust GXT. Okay, lens microphone. It's pretty good, especially with filters while recording in OBS. You sound like a professional. I don't know.
Yes. I don't understand half the words you say.
But that's amazing. Like GXT. Okay. I'm gonna check that out. It's pretty late for me now and my head is throbbing.
Yeah. Hopefully you get better soon.
Yeah, it will be available after the head is throbbing. Take care. Sleep well.
Yeah. Drink a lot.
Yeah, water.
Water is important.
Tea.
Water.
Yeah. I'm planning working a little bit next school year, so then I can invest more in my channel. Yeah, you can buy afterward. Like, you don't need everything when you start your channel. I mean, I don't think so. Yeah, Emma Books or something like that. I can probably find that somewhere. I don't know if you can find it, actually. Could you check on your like settings or whatever, who was the first one you subscribed to. I honestly don't know, but I think that Emma Books was actually the second one I subscribed to.
Oh.
For Book Rose, Emma, and then in Book Rose vlogs, I found about Jade over at Jade Reads and her other friends like Cody, etc. So okay,
Okay, yeah.
makes sense. I would be curious to know because you know what you're talking about. Yeah. So yeah, we talked about like gear, filming ideas, usernames, tips, editing, blah blah blah. What do you do after you uploaded your first video? What tips would you give people?
Your first video doesn't have to stay your first video. My first 8 or 9 videos are now in private. So in case you watch back after a few months and you're like, didn't like that, you can just private it. And so you don't have to make everything perfect.
Yeah, I agree. The first video really doesn't need to be perfect in any sense. It's more it's more about really showing your personality in that, because that's always what makes me subscribe to people. If I see their personality in the videos and I like this personality, then I go and watch further videos of them. So I believe just get across who you are, but only share as much as you want, of course, and have fun. Like, just have fun. Like you already said, it doesn't need to stay your first video. So I totally agree with that. So just have fun making your videos and find out what you like and enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, true. Like you can even film your second video right after filming the first one. But I mean, I think you should never be ashamed of promoting yourself. So you can go on Twitter, you can go on Instagram, and you can share your thumbnail. You can say the world that you actually uploaded the first video and watch other videos and comment. Try to connect with people, whatever the way you feel the most comfortable with. I think that uploading, it's like if you are on BookTube, if you have a BookTube channel, it means that you watch BookTube and you know how time consuming it can be. So I feel like use every single opportunity you have to connect with people. Can be under a video, can be under a post. Someone's going to maybe ask for a buddy read. Just volunteer. If someone is looking to collab for a video or a live or whatever, just say yes. Just try to be active. Try to make you feel a part of the community, because I believe this is what BookTube is about. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to connect with people, if you don't feel comfortable with that. Just find what works best for you. Just don't be scared to try, because we all did stuff we feel like not ashamed of, but we're like, yeah, if I only knew. And that's fine. I mean, I don't know, but don't get discouraged if you don't have like 100 subscribers after your first video. Honestly, I don't know how long it took me to get 100 subscribers. I think in my like yearly video, when you do like the 2019 wrap up or 2018 wrap up, it took me 1 year to have like 200 subscribers or 300 subscribers. Some people have 10,000 after a month. Don't ever compare yourself to someone else. It doesn't mean that like you're not doing enough or you're not doing good or whatever. It just maybe means that someone got a shout out from someone bigger. Someone got lucky because everyone talked about Midnight Sun. And so many newbies did a video analyzing the cover, whatever, and they got so many new subscribers. Just every situation is different. Everyone is different. Just find what works for you, and don't feel bad about anything.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, Emma Books too. Yeah, she's really fun.
Yeah.
Gem Studios. Oh,
Never heard.
I also private quite a few videos from the beginning. I never provide. Everything is watchable on my channel. I never canceled anything just because I know that some videos are really cringy, and I am so awkward, and especially like I look like a sick puppy or scared puppy, whatever, but also my accent is so different. I don't know how come. And the vocabulary I use, everything is so cringy. But I keep everything online just to remind you that that's where I come from. Like my videos used to be, I'm not saying that they're professional, that they're good, etc. now, but you can see my journey. And if that can help anyone, I'm glad. Like, just realize that I wasn't always used talking to a camera. Excuse me, but the first time I talked to a camera, I was like, okay. First, you don't know where you have to look. Do I look in the screen? Do I look in the lens? Do I look wherever? And then it's like you're talking to yourself, but at least when you're talking to yourself, you can hear yourself thinking, but then you're watching at the camera. And, I mean, it was hard. It was hard. But practice. Talking to a camera is not something natural. And if it's natural for you, but well, lucky again. Like we're all different. Like it wasn't natural for me. But I learned to. And now every time I turn on the camera, I don't see my camera anymore. I see the back behind my camera. And I see why I'm doing this. Like, it's like I'm seeing that it's going to be a video. I know where it's going to end up. So that's what made me feel better. And that's how I got used to the camera. Did you have any trouble with the camera at first?
It definitely was strange talking alone in a room to a camera. Like that was a really awkward feeling. I also still remember that I was thinking a lot about, oh my God, what are people gonna think about me when they watch this? And also I just didn't really like editing that much back then. So a lot of things were just really messy in the first video. But yeah, I believe it's still important to keep these things up so other people can see, like you get better with time. So
yeah, definitely. I actually talk a lot to myself, like out loud, so it wasn't that difficult for me. The only thing I struggled with really was to keep my voice like normal, because I really started talking like seriously to the camera, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with my voice. So I think that is what I struggled with most, to just keep the steady voice and not also just get into this hype, excited booktuber mood, you know. So yeah.
I also can still remember that when I started, I lived more in the city, and my voice needed to be louder than the street noises from outside. So that was also, I was always like, oh my God, my neighbor's gonna hear me screaming to my camera. I was really embarrassed about that.
Yeah. Here we have Tamara saying, also maybe first talk on your Instagram stories if talking to a camera feels weird. Yeah, it could be helpful actually. Whatever you're doing, whatever the tips you're gonna follow, just stay yourself. And like whenever I film a video, I'm me, but I'm me plus plus. I don't know how to explain that. Like whenever I film a video, at the end I'm so hyped. I have energy. Like I could, I don't know, run a marathon or whatever, but I feel like I'm under something. And it's just because when you are filming, I don't know how to explain that, but it's like me, but like I want to share that energy. I want to share my positivity or whatever. But that's so weird because I always feel like this is me, 100% me. But I am not like that in real life. Like I'm not like blah, blah. Like I don't know how to explain that. I'm me, but plus plus. Like I have more energy. if that makes any sense. Maybe because I feel like I have to do that why am I always maybe I feel like I have to be more energized or whatever because I'm actually alone. Like when people will be watching my videos, they will only see me. So if I'm like not that happy, I don't know. I just feel like I'm always a bit more when filming a video. That makes sense.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that.
My only problem is after I film, all of my energy is like lost the moment I stop my camera.
Oh yes.
I feel so exhausted after that. And I'm just like, I don't want to edit right now, please.
Yeah, relatable. I always feel so energized after I filmed one video, but whenever I film 4 or 5 videos, don't even talk to me after. Like I'm gonna go straight to bed. Like I'm just, I don't know, so tired, but like in your mind, like it's not like physically, it's just like your brain is asking for a break.
I also can remember you filmed 16 videos one day, wasn't?
How did you do that?
I got up, I drank something, I filmed, and I went to bed. And basically, I fell into bed because I'm not sure I'm going to put up the last few videos because I'm so exhausted, and you can see that. I'm so tired in these last few.
But oh my gosh, when I saw that story, no, it was a story, right? It wasn't a tweet.
Yeah.
I was like, is she human?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I don't think I will ever be able to do that. But okay, do you edit a lot when you like? Are your footage super long, or you manage to make them short?
Well, it depends on the video. Sometimes I have like 15 to 10-minute footage. Either I have that, or I have like 40 minutes. There is no in between.
Yeah, I always have like 1 hour, unless it's an unboxing. Unboxing are usually shorter, like 20 minutes or whatever, because I'm just like, I just show. I know I have to show people what I got in the box. I should ramble less, and I like. Is anybody? Oh, I saw another question with that. Okay, so we can talk about the filming process if you want. Is anybody scripting their videos? Are you?
I don't really script my videos, but what I do is I go about certain things I want to say in my head. Like I already like structure them. Oh, I want to say that and that and that at least. But I don't really like scripting them or have each sentence I want to say. I'm just like, I want to mention that and this stuff. So.
Well, I think it depends on the video. Like the usual like TBRs, hauls, wrap-ups, I don't really script. But with my witchy videos, when I want to put like information out there or reviews, I do script them, definitely, yeah.
I don't, but I get help from Trello. So I use Trello. I don't know if you know that, but it's basically I create lists with checklists, etc. So whenever I buy a book, for instance, I'm gonna write down the name of the book in that bought in March, whatever. So at the end of the month, I have that list there. And before filming the video, I just go on my shelves and pick the books, etc. Because I cannot remember anything. And same for wrap-ups, etc. Whenever I finish a book, I put it in there. But also, I'm using the Copilot system that G created. So over at Book Rose to rate the books. So I have that. So I know what books I read like in April, etc. And I see the ratings. So I don't script, but I definitely like for instance, I made a series for the owls, like book recommendations if you're Hufflepuff, etc., etc. So I wrote down like what I would wear for that video, what books I'm gonna pick and for what reason. So I did prepare stuff, but I didn't say, okay, minute 1 to minute 2, you're gonna say that. Minute 3, to, like a real script. So I definitely sometimes do it, but not like really doing it. That makes any sense.
Oh, it makes sense.
Good. During filming, I'm so excited, and after that, I can be very tired. Yeah, it's as much as booktube is time consuming, filming is like tiring. It can be energy consuming. That is that even English? I don't draining. That's what I meant. It's draining. I remember that name because for 1 second I thought of a vampire. Draining. Okay, that's the word. Yeah, never mind. I have fever. Sorry. Well, I researched the books I talk about, but the jokes and the rest isn't scripted. But like, it feels partly scripted. Yeah, as long as you're yourself, etc., it doesn't have to be like all script, etc.
Like I always have to look up names of some characters because I often really just forget the names of the characters. Even with a book that I really like, it can happen that I'm just like, forgot his name in the middle of filming, like out of so, mine's blank.
Yeah.
It happens to me a lot. Like whenever I have like a book haul or whatever, I read a synopsis of the book and then I'm like, okay, I bought that book and it's about. Wait, it's a, and I'm just I don't even know what it is about anymore. Sometimes it just doesn't work, but yeah. Same with the energy on camera, Sasha. It is part of my personality, but usually I have much less energy. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like I wouldn't be like as active in the street. Like people would think I'm crazy, but it's still me. Also, the video, it's about a lot of the energy, so you have to be even more energetic for it to even register in the finished product. Wow, having so sad the film. Yeah,
that's actually pretty interesting.
I put up like a video a week because my brother still goes to school and doesn't have that much time to edit. So when I edit myself, I can maybe put out 3 videos in 2 weeks at least. Yeah, welcome to the club. It's always way too long. Yeah, feel you on that. My wrap-up really depends on how many books I read. Yeah, but my first wrap-up was 14 books in like 14 minutes. Wow. And my new wrap-up is going to be around 30 minutes with 16 books. Yeah, it depends. Sometimes you have a lot to say about a book and sometimes you're just like, I liked it. And it was okay. Yay! Yeah, I use it for everything. Everything. At work, booktube, my everyday life. I do an outline, so my footage is about 10% more than my finished video. Wow. You're so professional. I'm jealous. I don't script them, but I'm starting to take bullet points I really want to come across, and I notice a difference. Yeah, it really helps structure your video, and you won't have like parts at some point you will be like, okay, what am I talking about? What did I just say? What I'm gonna say? You know, sometimes you get confused because you just talk. So it really helps, I feel. I write down things about my videos and I always write out a synopsis of the books I talk about because when I write things down, I can later remember it better. Yep. In the way I write down the information of books, I always write down the name of the MC and gender because I tend to forget that even of my 5 stars reads. Yeah. It really depends. Like, but do you take notes when you read books just to talk about them better kind of thing?
No. So I don't really take note of books at all. I also admit I don't annotate because this sort of writing in my books is just so disturbing to me. Like I understand why people do it and I would love to do it as well, but I just can't. There's like a barrier to write in books, and also I'm too lazy to always search for paper and pen and actually write while I'm reading, especially when I'm in a really good scene and I just want to read and have fun and not write anything down.
Oh yeah. I would like to take notes. Sometimes I do with some books, so I can write about them later a bit better, because I mainly do it with the ones I didn't like.
Mm.
I have started underlining some of my books. Not all of them, and only specific kinds of books like fantasy. I don't usually do it. But like with Call Me By Your Name or Find Me, I started to do it, and I only underline. I don't write in them because that is also something I'm not comfortable with yet.
Yeah, I don't really do that actually. I don't take note. Oh, I don't take note. I don't take notes. Oh my gosh, my S is like walking around. I I don't usually do that. Like I used to do a lot of reviews at the beginning in my channel. I was reviewing all the books I got from Free Loot because I used to be subscribed to them. But then I just stopped. I don't know why. I wasn't feeling like it was the way I wanted to talk about books. I love books because it was entertaining, because I had a good time, etc. And writing down things, it's just like, as you said, like when I'm in the middle of a scene, I don't want to take a pen, take a notebook, and write down what I thought about it. But I do it when I do buddy reads, like when we read like 3 chapters a day, 2 chapters a day, or whatever. I tend to do it because I talk about it with people, like every time I read something. So that helps at the end of the month to remember what you liked or not, because I sometimes share quotes or whatever. But I don't really do it. Not a professional. I don't know what. Yeah, got it.
Frankensteining is a beautiful word.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, don't get me wrong. I still get way less, just less. Hey, that's the beginning. Just less so it's perfect. I do not take notes unless it's something that made me feel a lot of things, or less it is for a readathon and it's a part of makes it fit the prompt. Okay. I sometimes I have a problem with that S. I sometimes take notes when writing books, and I should do that more often. Yeah, if you like it, definitely. Like I cannot annotate in books. Like I cannot do that to my books, but I have no problem people doing that to their books. I can watch them doing it. I can watch them like destroying the books. That's theirs. That's not mine. But I love that with ebooks, because you can write notes on, and take notes, etc., etc. So I really love that with ebooks, and I tend to do that with ebooks, but not with physical books.
Why is that? Is that because you don't like the writing process in the book, or to have something next to the actual text or something?
It's just because I know me, and I'm a moody person, and sometimes I'm gonna be like obsessed by something, and then the day after I'm gonna be like, what went through your mind? Like that doesn't make sense. So whenever, like, that's why, for instance, for all my tattoos, I printed them on papers and put them everywhere in the house for 1 year. If I wasn't tired of them, then I got them, because I change my mind all the time. So I know me. So if I'm gonna write even my Harry Potter books, like I love some quotes, but I'm like, will I like them tomorrow? Or maybe not, and maybe yet. So I keep it clean. I don't know. I'm a little bit too much. Maybe that's because I'm a Libra. I don't know. Like I never know what's better.
Yeah, but I've got the same reasoning. I'm like, I change my mind so often, and sometimes I'm like completely differently the next day. But maybe that's because I'm a Sagittarius, because we evolve all the time. So I don't know, to stay in the astrological realm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't write. But also because sometimes you're gonna write and you're gonna be like, okay, it looks nice. And then 5 minutes, I don't know. I'm scared to screw up what I'm gonna write in the book. I think it's mostly that. Like I'm gonna misspell something, or you know what I mean. And that's gonna be annoying. I think that's the thing. Oh, I'm gonna use like a green color when I meant like a red color or whatever, and that's gonna bother me. And I'm gonna end up like buying a new book because of that. So I better not do that. Yeah. Also, how do you guys make the description of your videos? I'm currently working on one. Oh, I didn't even think about that question. I think like what I said at the very beginning, I don't know if you were there, like do some research on what BookTube is and what other booktubers do. And that's how I saw what they were putting under, like in that description box, like the links to their social media, sometimes the book they're talking about, or the people they're mentioning, or just like, hi, hello, welcome to my channel. Please feel free to subscribe or whatever. So because I didn't know what to do, I checked what the others did.
Yeah, I think that really helps. I looked at a lot of other people's descriptions, and I found out, I love the idea with the two smileys in the beginning, like, and then words in between. So that's something that I did as well, because I just think it's so cute. And then I feel like more of wanting to open the description and read it. I don't know. Do you read the description of videos? I tend to do that nearly every time I watch a video. Do you do that as well, or am I alone in this?
Actually, with me, it depends. These like open up videos, descriptions, I usually do not read, because most of the times it's really just open up and then it's like the social media links and that's it. So what I like in descriptions is like a little info about the video, like you said, about the people that are maybe in there or the books like mentioned or something. Like I have like a copy paste text that I always change a bit, which is like usually the same with links and also a bit information about myself, which I put into my description, just so that there is like, maybe this is a vlog or this is a wrap up with so many books or something, just so a little bit more information about the video in case it's not loading properly or something. But these open me videos descriptions I usually don't read.
Yeah, so I also am a fan if people add like a lot of text in their description. And I also tend to usually include, like, if I had struggles with something in the video, so that people know and maybe don't judge so hard on some things, like, oh, the audio is bad because my microphone died or something like that, or it was hard editing, or I wasn't in the best mood this day, so if I smile less, that's the problem. So I love to include that.
That's actually a great way to actually rank your video. So the more you put in your description the word that are in your video titles, the more you have chances. I don't even know if that's English, but the more you're gonna appear in the research page. So that's actually a very good way to rank your videos. So you make smile and she. The books and people I mentioned, yeah. And that's the reason why I actually read descriptions, because in my descriptions, I always put like a word, a random word, and people use it like in the comments. So I tend to read then descriptions to just see if there is an info I don't want to miss, etc. So yeah, I do. I have a part of my description automatic. Yeah, and I do that as well. So in the YouTube studio, you can like preset stuff, and I always add all the songs, the music I usually use. So when I upload the video, I just keep the one I use and I delete the rest, so I don't have to research every single time. So yeah, but I pretty much always use the same thing, and then I talk a lot about random stuff, and then I link everything I need to link. And I read a description if the person talked about a book and I didn't understand the title of that book. So check if the book is in this description or the Goodreads link is in it. So I used to put all the links in my description of all the books. I'm not doing that anymore. Just because there are some videos when I talk about 20 books and I just don't feel like it because I always linked the Goodreads and then the book depository page, but I always I never put that like the real link, but I went through Bitly. Do you say Bitly to have the shorter link? So it was like time consuming and I just stopped. And especially because on Bitly you can see how many people actually clicked on that link and it wasn't that used. So I was like, maybe they don't need me to do that. So yeah, so I stopped. For wrap-ups, it's like me searching book depository for all the books. Yeah. I usually list the people I talk about, the books I mentioned, my socials, and the equipment I use because I want to know what everybody uses. Yeah, maybe I should just say that I'm just using my vlogging camera for everything and no mic. I don't know, because maybe people think I'm using a mic or whatever and fancy things, but
I really assumed you would use a mic because your audio is
really?
really good in your
definitely,
videos.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely. I was so sure about that one.
No, it's just editing. Like the camera is not far away from me, and I just like turn down like the background noises, etc. There is an option in Final Cut Pro like sounds, music or whatever. I turn that down as well. So it's really just editing.
Yeah. And I think that's important for people to see. So you don't need a microphone. You can get great audio without it.
Yeah. And about that earlier comment, people are usually, if they are on YouTube, I usually do not link them in the description box, but in the cards, because I think it's like easier for people to access in the video if they have like the direct link to check them out.
Yeah, I tend to do that too when I mention people.
Yeah, I had another point like, how do you use like your setup? Like, how do you pick a filming spot? Is that the word? Oh my gosh, I'm tired. Like, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't have books, I don't have like shelves, I don't have pretty shelves or whatever. I generally believe you don't need books behind you to film a video.
You really don't.
You just need you. And like for instance, read Cindy.
Yeah.
Read with Cindy. She's a minimalist. She doesn't have like 5 books, I think, and she's huge. So you don't need to have tons of books. Like you don't need to buy tons of books every month, and you don't need to read 10 books a month either. You know what I mean? Like you just have, but I believe you have to make sure your spot, like the spot you picked, is kind of clean. So I don't want to see dirty socks on your floor or whatever. So maybe just try that. But it can be in your room, it can be in your living room. Doesn't have to be a bookish spot.
Yeah, definitely. And make sure it's comfortable, because I tried to film in front of my bookshelves for a while, was standing up and my back starts hurting quite easily. Now I just sit down, so be comfortable.
Yeah.
Being comfortable is important. Like that's why I bought the share actually.
Yeah, no, that's true. But now, the most important part of this: how do you connect with people? Because Booktube is it's all about connecting, and I don't know, what tips would you give people? What did you do? What did you try to do that didn't work out, or what worked?
Well, what really helps in the beginning is, as we already talked about, commenting in videos you like just getting in touch with them. And to be honest, that didn't work that well for me in the beginning. What really helped me find people was getting into one Twitter group. Like sometimes are these Twitter threads where they are like, share your YouTube profile, your Goodreads, whatever, so we can follow one another. And then sometimes there results a group out of that, or some people like connections who comment more under your videos, and that really did help with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Commenting on videos was also not really what helped me in the beginning. I also have to say I was kind of afraid commenting on other people's videos and reach out to them. But when I first did that, like I watched someone's video and she wanted to read a book I wanted to read as well that month. I just asked her if she wants to buddy read it. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I don't want to get on her nerves. And she was like so glad to buddy read the book. Like, I mean, we all love buddy reads. So I think first thing is we shouldn't be afraid of being rejected, because I think that's not gonna happen in the booktube community. Like, we openly discuss these things if they don't have time to read a book with you, for example. And I also think the best platform as well is Twitter. Like, we are both in the same Twitter group, and that's where we found each other to set up this show here with Sasha. So I really think Twitter is the best thing to connect with people.
Yeah, I agree. I actually started my Bookstagram like maybe a month before BookTube, so that's where I connected with a few people before my creating my channel. Then I was a viewer, like I was watching a lot of BookTube when I discovered like G, but I wasn't commenting a lot under videos, and I think that's something I regret, kind of thing. But just because I didn't understand what was important behind each comment. And when I created my channel and I saw how happy I was at every comment I got, I started understanding that commenting on the videos was like, even if it was just saying, hey, nice video, loved it, or whatever, it meant something to someone. But something that I'm not good at is actually like any booktuber I saw growing, etc. I used to comment a lot under their videos, but whenever the booktuber grows, whenever they get bigger, I comment less and less, because I feel like I'm not, like, they're already getting too many comments. What would my, like, why would I add another one? They don't have time. Like, I'm not adding anything, and I feel like that's really bad. Like, if I want to comment, why wouldn't I comment it? Like, even if they don't comment back, they for sure saw it, if that makes any sense. And I feel like you want to comment something, just do it. Don't feel intimidated by the numbers. Like, do what I say, don't do what I do. But yeah, I feel like commenting is a big part. And as I said earlier, like, if someone is looking for a co-host, if someone is looking for a buddy read, if there is like a readathon, a read along, anything going on Twitter, Bookstagram, Booktube, etc., and if you're interested in that, of course, don't do it if you have no interest in doing it just to connect. Then try. Like, maybe you will hate buddy reads, but at least you tried, and that's absolutely fine. I think, yeah, that takes a lot of courage and bravery to actually put yourself out there. And whenever you build relationship with people and you're gonna make friends, you're gonna understand everything after. Like, it's like your parents are telling you, don't do that, don't do that, and you don't understand why, but after a few years you actually understand why. And that's pretty much that. So yeah, and Twitter is a great way. Tags also, when you get tagged by people, and you tag back, etc. And when you tag someone in a video, don't forget to tag them on Twitter or Bookstagram so they can see it. So yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add to that. Wait,
I don't think so.
we have like 50 minutes of oh my gosh.
That is the dream. That is the dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that a library? How did you connect with each other? Yeah, Twitter, right?
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah. Definitely
And
true.
and then now we talk on Discord. Discord is
Yeah.
also a great way to connect with people, with readathons, buddy reads, etc. Book clubs. Book clubs are also a great way to connect with people.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I will say, like, the less intimidating platform to connect with people is Twitter, because
Yeah.
Twitter is like everyone is coming from everywhere, ranting or loving or reacting.
Yeah.
That's the bookish jungle. So I
Mm,
highly recommend that.
mm.
Also, if things make you angry on book Twitter, you just mute the word. Like with Twilight, I muted it for a week because I got tired. Aren't we all tired?
That makes very much sense.
Yeah. I also comment less on bigger booktubers because I also feel like bigger booktubers seek less interaction with questions. I feel
Yeah.
like that's an impression we have. I feel like it's like,
I feel like
go ahead.
yeah, I feel like it's because like they get so many questions or comments that they can't get back to everyone. So maybe that is because we feel like our comments like valueless or like drown a little bit more. But I think like in the end they're happy about every comment they get. So
I think they do, and defines big booktubers and defines small
yeah,
booktubers.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
everyone is bigger and smaller than another one. So yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know what you
that's
mean.
true.
Like, I don't think they're looking for less interactions. I just feel like they're busier, if that makes any sense. But they don't, like, if they're doing it, that's because they got feedback and they got comments in the back. And if they keep doing it, that's because they want to keep those interactions. So yeah. My dad is working, his working space is a library filled.
Library. I want a library too.
There are also some Facebook groups, especially for authors on YouTube. Yeah, I tried actually a Facebook group. I don't use Facebook. Like, I haven't posted in years, but I use it for work. And one day I saw like an ad, yeah, booktube on Facebook, blah, 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 and I clicked on it and I requested to be a member of it. And I actually didn't see any interactions between people. They were just like, okay, I just uploaded that, please check it out. And
Yeah.
there were no interaction. And I'm just like, I don't know, but I feel like for authors, it's a great way to connect with others. I don't know, but I didn't have a good experience with Facebook, so maybe I just didn't find the right group. Yeah. Sasha was actually one of the first people to comment on my videos, and it meant the world. And then I was added to a group chat for Zodiac and for the Cap Moons, and I found the reaching rate.
Yeah. Same story with me.
What do you mean? Same story with you?
You were one of the first people to comment on my videos. And
Seriously?
the Zodiacathon and the Zodiacathon group helped me find her. And we buddy read House of Salt and Sorrows, and that was quite a fun experience. So buddy reads are fantastic to connect with people.
Yeah, I agree. That's how you make friends. Whoa. And Reddit has some YouTube groups with occasionally words. Oh, really?
There's so many different social media.
My gosh. Also, I'm making booktube fun with making my favorite booktubers.
Oh, you should make a video about that.
Yeah. Sasha made me actually make my. I mean, yeah, we need more booktubers. I mean, I love this community because, like, I don't know your relationship with booktube, like personal, but in end of 2017 I left Canada because I lived there for 2 years. I had to move back to Belgium. It wasn't planned. And when I got back in Belgium, it had been like a few years since I've been in Belgium and living there. And still today, I don't know anyone in Belgium. Like I have no friends because I really don't know anyone except for my coworkers who are way older than me. They have kids, etc. So we can talk about everything, but they're not like my friends, if that makes any sense. Um, so BookTube, my pack, Wolves, is just my online family, my online friends, etc. So I have like everyone has a strong like relationship with their community. But for me, it's like I have that, and that's it. Like I don't have anything in real life, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I can totally relate. When I started the channel like half a year, almost a year ago now, and just at the beginning of this year, I had a rather rough period mentally. And just to have this constant flow of creativity and contact with people really just helped a lot.
I love that you said creativity, because I believe like book hauls, wrap ups are a great way to have content if you have no ideas. Like if there is a popular video coming out at that time, you could talk about that book. But if you want to do something nobody has done before, you want to talk about the book no one has heard about it, or you want to, like me, I'm calling my community my pack and walls. Don't you think that people came to me being like, are you okay? Is everything all right with you? Like, that doesn't make sense. And that didn't stop me. So feel, I mean, do what you want to do, try, and don't be scared to be too creative or whatever. I don't even know if too creative is a thing. Like, can you be too creative? But
Surely not.
I don't think so. So just be you, and even if you're weird, you're gonna find weird people out there. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that would be like my last advice. Like whenever I step up on a Booktube Newbie Tag, I always say the same thing at the end. It's basically have fun, film the content you want, connect with people, and what's the last thing? Have fun, connect with people, film the content you want, and stay yourself. Yeah. I always say that. And like, I really say that in every single comment I leave under a Booktube Newbie video, because I truly believe that's all about it. Like, if you're having fun filming the content you like, we're going to see it and we're going to have fun watching your videos.
Yes, definitely.
That's basic math.
Totally agree.
Yeah, that would be like my last advice. Just do it, test, and what could go wrong? Like, you could just try. And if you do something wrong, I don't know what it could be, but let's say you said something you were not supposed to or whatever, just say sorry. Sorry, I'm late.
No issue.
That's fine. We're just finishing, but that's fine. Quite.
Yeah, that
What was the
about
book you?
House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I was like the only one who disliked it.
I think
No,
I
like
give
in
it.
in that group.
Oh, okay. I give it, I think, 3 stars. I didn't hate it, but it was like I was intrigued at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I felt like it was always the same thing, that we were like just turning around and around. And then I loved the atmosphere. Sorry.
I think that summed it up pretty well.
If we can travel again and have holidays, I really want to visit some European bookish friends. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I'm going to do like so I was supposed to meet her in London with Daniela and Jiva and to go to the Harry Potter tour next weekend, actually. So it would have been like the first time me meeting actually bookish friends and doing it during the Harry Potter, like visiting the Harry Potter studio. So yeah, I go for it. Like it can be scary, I think, like seeing people you're only seeing on the screen.
Mm.
But I think it's one of the most amazing feelings. Like, I would definitely recommend.
Great idea.
And also, my dad just bought a ukulele for me. So when I use my, yeah, do whatever you want to do. Like, try it out. Like, you could even sing your wrap up. Like,
Oh.
Mm.
why not? Why not? You could do like some people, they don't talk to camera. They're just filming. You know, you have the setup and the camera is over there, and you just see the books they're moving, or they're just doing like a 3D kind of thing. So you can try different things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I feel you on that. But yeah, I think that was like, oh, NetGalley, how to get arcs, etc. So
Definitely.
yeah. So first, I want to say, you don't need to buy 10,000 books every single month to be valid here on BookTube. First, libraries, then Kindles, like any ebooks, etc. Then you have audiobooks, etc. But in case you are interested in arcs, I would say that from what I saw and understood and experienced, as a European, yeah, I live in Europe, it's sometimes harder to get physical arcs, because most of the time they're only sending it to the UK, or they're only keeping it in the States, etc. But if you want arcs, I would suggest NetGalley, but not netgalley.com, but netgalley.uk. Same login, because most of the time they're going to say yes. That's because I tried netgalley.com and I got less accepted for the same books than on netgalley.uk. And also, if you, my tips from experience, don't request 10 books at the same time, because if you get accepted for all 10 books, you're going to have to read all 10 books. So, my
And
story.
also plan, yeah, and also plan on reading your arcs. I requested 2, and I got those 2. Read one of them, reviewed it late, and still haven't read the second. So make sure you're actually really interested in them and not just like, yay, arcs.
Yeah. Yeah. Hannah met Jiva in Berlin. Yeah. I wish I was there. It's not far. It's for me not even that far. No, I could be in the Netherlands in 2 hours driving there. So
Wow.
yeah, definitely. Like, we're lucky in Europe in some way, because we can go from one place to another like in an easier way than the rest of the world. But still, there's a read now section on NetGalley with books anyone can read, and that's how I started before I started requesting books. Yes, because that's actually going to also help you get that, how do you get that ratio? Like, if you have a ratio of 80%, you get more chances to get accepted for books. So yeah, that's a good way to start. And also Goodreads. Like, I don't know why I never mentioned Goodreads here, but try to post your reviews on Goodreads and link it to your NetGalley so people can actually see. Being in Europe can be hard for booktubing. I mean, yes, because of all the book events you have in the States, for instance. Yeah, we have like Yalk in London. That's Yalk, right? I think I was supposed to go this year. It was supposed to be in July, but got cancelled. But yeah,
And then there
that's
are like
interesting.
these. What's
What?
interesting?
I don't know.
And then there are like the national book events. Like in Germany, we've got like the Book Fair, die Buchmesse. But that is like only like, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, like only German speaking. So that's not very interesting, I don't know, for me personally, because I don't read German, or usually not. So
Yeah, but I believe at the German book fair, there's also always the partner country speaking as well.
Yeah, I did an internship there like 2 years ago, but I think the ones that I saw at least were only like for business, but I might be wrong. I don't know.
But we have that in Belgium. Like once a year, we have what we call La Foire du Livre, and it's like every single like edition publishers, they come and they sell books. But the thing is that it's not the same as what I saw from what it was in the States. Like it's just people selling books. Yeah, sure, you're gonna have some authors coming there with so they can sign, etc. But arcs don't exist here in Belgium. Like you don't have arcs. Like whenever you finish your book has been published, you sell it. You don't have arcs anything. So it's not like a big deal. And also it's only in French, and you have like a small section in Dutch, and then you have the Dutch version of it with only Dutch books, like books in Dutch and some French. But it's not the same. Like you don't get books for free. You pay the full price. So you just go there because you have like 10 bookshops at the same spot, basically. So
that's basically the same here.
Also, did you guys talk about where you get your books? Nope. Where do you guys buy your books?
Mainly Amazon, because Book Depository is also, it's usually a bit overwhelming for me, to be honest. And Amazon is just the easiest to find the ones that I need at the moment.
Yeah, I always switch between Amazon and Book Depository. It depends on which cover I want from a book. Like I'm really explicit with that. I always want the cover I find most beautiful for the book. And with some books, there are like 5 different cover editions. And then I go and search. And then if they don't have the one I like on Amazon, then I go to Book Depository or vice versa. And also to match all of the books that are like in the same series, or that they have the same book cover, which is so problematic sometimes.
The book size is problematic.
Yeah, the book size. And we also discovered the German spine.
Yeah. Don't even try to get them in the same size. It's impossible if you don't buy them together.
Yeah, I get my books like 80% of my books are from Book Depository. No, I got some from Amazon and then from Bookish Boxes. And I seem to be the exception. Amazon is just a nightmare with me. Like they lose all my books. They're never here on time. I'm still waiting on books that I ordered like in February. While with Book Depository, I order a book, it's shipped, and 2 days after I have it. And never got any issues. So I'm just the exception. Like everyone has problems with Book Depository, but me. But I'm going to try to stop buying from Book Depository and Amazon for now. I'm going to try.
About that, I also buy sometimes books, like when I'm not looking for specific books, in my local bookstore, which also has a rather good English section. So if I'm not looking for something specific, but just like what I'm curious about, I also go there.
You kind of have to have contacts in publishing houses for physical arcs. And that's why it's hard in Europe, because I don't have any English publishing houses in Belgium. So it's easier for them. I mean, let's say they're in the UK to send books to UK people than to the rest of Europe. So where's the online book fest now? Yep, mainly German, but lots of internationals for signings. That's for your German thingy. I'm working for a small publishing house. We want to go to Frankfurt at some point, but the budget is never good enough. Yeah. They have like a YA fest in the Netherlands, but it's extremely... Oh, really? I'm waiting a month for Book Depository delivery. Well, I'm covered, I guess. Just contact them. Like it happens to me once. I contacted them, and they immediately send out another one. Because if it's not there in, like, it's supposed to be there like 2 to 4 days after they shipped it for me. If it's not there after a week, they immediately send another one. But again, I'm the only one who has no issues with Book Depository, so take
Maybe I
that
have
with
to
a grain
try
of
it.
salt. Yeah, I buy most of my books at my local bookstore because of gift cards, and that I want to support my bookstore.
Mm.
Yeah, but I cannot find anything in English. All they
Hmm.
have in English, it's like the City of Bones series, and like no, you know.
Yeah, or like just English classics and then some
Yeah.
George Martin, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Yeah.
all.
Talia. Yeah, I'm gonna buy from Talia. Already found some para fantasy middle grade I want to get.
Mm.
Yes, we have Feira de Livro in Portugal, and it's the same. Just an opportunity for publishers to sell the titles, but it's not different than a bookstore actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly the
Mm.
same as we have in Belgium.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so would you like to add anything else? Because we've been talking for 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it's gonna cut us out of it in 15
Oh.
minutes.
Oh, okay. You two had questions, didn't you? Like you got
Oh,
questions?
yeah, on
Oh yeah, true. You have.
Instagram. So one was, how do you all create such fun and original videos? I'm scared I will run out of ideas. So what do you do if you don't know what to film? Maybe. So
I use Google. Google is my best. What? Like booktube videos ideas. There are so many out there,
Mm.
and you could like do your favorite fantasy, film your favorite sci-fi, film like a video about all the books you don't like, the genre you don't usually read, or you can
Mm.
dress like your characters, or you can read a book out loud, or you can
Mm.
dress up, or you can I don't know. It's easy to find ideas, I feel.
Mm. Also, tags are always, there are so many different tags out there which you could always use as filler or buffer. If you want to do tags mainly, then that is also wonderful. And like the classic formula of of whole TBR wrap up, maybe reviews or recommendations or something like that.
yeah,
Or right now, like tier ranking.
What I really watched lately and enjoyed was a video from Joella Reeds where she's just talked about the books she recently read, and these belong to the same series, and she was just like saying what was different because the author had published them at different times in his life. So the writing was really different, and I enjoyed that so much. But it also was such an original idea because I don't see this so often on Booktube, like comparing the writing style in the beginning of from an author's career and then later on. So I believe you can come up with nearly anything if you really want to something fun.
We can actually talk because it's not gonna cut us out of it after 2 hours. I just checked. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah, another question was, what have been some of the biggest challenges when starting your channel? We talked about that already, or have you anything to add to?
I will say that the biggest challenge I had was actually myself, like deciding to be brave enough to actually put that video out there, because I don't speak English perfectly and I never will. And I was just like, why am I doing this in English? I could do it like in another language. But I think I was the biggest challenge, if that makes sense. I was the only one thinking about it like too much and just putting too much pressure on myself. And I think it's because I didn't know what I want to do with my channel, so I just started it because I was lonely. I found out about that channel, that booktube thing, and I was like, I want to be a part of it. So I did it, and I didn't do research. I didn't know what I wanted. Did I want to do reviews? Did I want to get bookish boxes? Did I want to do that? Whatever. I didn't know where I was going with it, and I think that's why it was a bit scary. But yeah.
No, I think it was the same for me.
Yeah, and you just upload your first video, see people's reaction, connect with people, and then try things. And
Yeah.
That's it.
What helps most is just remind yourself that you always view what you think and do for yourself differently because you're constantly talking to yourself in your mind. And the best thing is to remember any other person has exactly the same problem. And I think remembering these things that in this way we are nearly all the same really helps putting yourself out there because people will understand you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also it's weird to hear you talking and to see and to see your face. Like I cannot
Yeah.
check myself. Like I don't look at me in the mirror. Like I
Mm.
don't. And having to see my face for hours when editing, I had to learn that. Like it's not easy because you notice, oh, when I speak, I do that with my mouth. Oh, when I speak, I do that.
Yeah.
You don't know about those things and you're gonna notice them. And some might be annoying, some might be funny, some you just don't care. But
Yeah.
it's a process and nobody talks about it. But yeah, you're gonna notice stuff about yourself you never noticed before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Another question we've got was, how long do you give a book before you DNF?
Now, who wants to go first?
You DNF
Yeah.
easily, right?
I DNF pretty quickly. Like if I'm
Yeah.
not like, it depends how annoying the characters are. I can DNF either after 20 pages or after 70 pages. But if I read like 120 pages and then I just wish for it to be over, I do not read on. I just can't. I'm very easy on DNFs, very easy.
Oh my gosh, I had to learn to DNF because I didn't want to DNF a series. I went in a reading slump for 2 months. So
Uh-oh.
please DNF. um, Usually it really depends. But the books I DNF'd, one I was like 200 pages in, the other one I was like maybe 100 pages in. I DNF'd when I just cannot stand the character anymore. When I just want to take that character and smash it, I stop at that point. When it get on my nerves and when I'm getting nervous reading about that character, then I know I have to stop. But yeah.
I still have to learn to DNF books. I really have a hard time DNFing them because I'm like, but what if it gets better when I read on? That's the constant question. And yeah, but I believe I'm going there. Like I starting to learn to DNF books because like in the last 2 months I had 2 books that I just didn't enjoy at all, and I constantly thinking, why did I put myself through all of this? Like that was just wasted time in the end, and I could have read something that I would enjoy so much more.
See, another one that's lucky with Book Depository. Yeah. Yeah. I use Google. That's my answer to everything. Like whenever someone asks me a question, use Google. Use Google. That's so true. Google knows pretty much everything. It actually helps a lot later in presentations and public
Oh
speaking.
yes, it does. Oh yes, it does.
Yeah, I took like at the beginning, like when was it? In November. Like I work in a university, so I organize events for my students. And last time I had to explain everything about internships, etc. And I had to talk in front of 1,000 students. And I wasn't. I felt okay. Like I had fun with them, and I wouldn't have been able like to do that a few years back. So definitely. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So I want to know which series you DNF'd.
Throne of Glass.
Oh!
And that is the one I'm still struggling with because I've heard the storyline is good, but I just cannot get through the books. I tried a second and I read in careful and I do not want to continue reading them, but I'm curious about the story.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like it's a good story, the plots, etc., are like the world building, etc. It's interesting. But like the characters. That's actually
Totally understand you.
that series put me in that 2 months of reading slump.
Oh.
So I read Throne of Glass, hated it. Lady of Midnight, hated it. And then I DNF'd Hair of Fire, and I couldn't read anything for 2 months. And now whenever someone mentions that author, I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. And I get sick. But that's not her fault. I don't have anything against her, but I just can't. So yeah. Next.
So I DNF'd the A Court of Thrones and Roses series. Like I'm sorry. I know you would react. I just didn't feel connected to the main character. I believe that was the problem. And that's what I struggle most with. I also DNF'd like Kingdom of Souls. I've read, that was actually the book that I just tried to get through, and then I absolutely disliked it in the end. So I wish I had DNF'd that. But the beginning was really great. I really believed it's going to be a 5-star, and then halfway it just went down. And yeah, that are the 2 series.
I also DNF'd like the City of Bones series. Like I've read the 3 first books in the City of Bones, like Mortal Instruments, is that it? But that's because it was a buddy read, like a group buddy read. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna force myself. The idea is interesting. I love the world building, the all different species, etc. But the characters, oh my gosh! And then I've read the 2 first books in the next series, the Infernal Devices, and I was just like, is it a copy? Like, did you just change the name of the characters? So I gave up. Again, I think it's a series I would have enjoyed 10 years ago, but not now with everything I've read. And there is a 3rd series I DNF'd. Oh, The Cruel Prince. I read The Cruel Prince. I gave it 3 stars because I found it was interesting and different and a bit darker. But I couldn't connect to the characters. And I read the second one. I was like, then I've read like that mini book in between the second book and the 3rd book. And I'm like, why am I doing this again? Stop it. So I'm not going to read that last one. And I know there is only 1 book left. And I'm like, I should read it. But
I've never read The Cruel Prince.
Me neither.
I believe I just don't get along with face stories, really. Like I always see me DNFing these kinds of stories constantly. So maybe that's just like, I love fantasy, but it's just like the fantasy that I'm not into at all.
Yeah. Like
yeah, I do that a lot.
I feel like there are some books that I actually loved, but because I had the right mindset, I would maybe reread them and be like, yeah, it's okay. You know, you need to have a certain mindset for certain books. So yeah, it could be like a temporary DNF. Tons of them. I want to rant about DNFing House of Night.
Do it. That series is trash, and I love it. I love that series so much. It is so bad.
Okay. I haven't read that one. House of Night. Who's the author again?
It's PC and Kristen Cast. It's like early 2007, 2011, something like that. Vampires with like 3 boys at one time, and like a lot of love interest and a lot of drama and magic and vampires, and yeah, it's trash.
I have a hard time DNFing series. I already read 3 or 4 books. I know, but like so many books all the time. Like at one point, you need to. But wait, is House of Night? Does it have a good rate on Goodreads? I'm curious. Yeah, House of Night.
Well,
Wait, 3.8 for the first one.
Yeah, well, I don't know which language you've got. Like the first one is called marked in English.
Yeah,
If that is the one, yeah.
Yep.
It's
3.8.
really
Mm, I actually got all of the description writing and stuff to put out. It's coming up at 10, so I'm kind of proud of myself. Yay! It's gonna be out in
that's
1
good.
minute. It's huge in Germany. House of Night. I mean,
It
really?
is? I didn't know that.
Okay.
I read it like when I was 12 or something.
Spill the tea. House of Night is a YA vampire by a mother and daughter author duo. About a chosen vampire girl with 3 boyfriends who constantly seems the only. Okay, at least it's a YA and not new adult. Otherwise, it would have been like weird between the mom and the daughter to write new adult. But
Yeah,
read the first 2.
they're like 12 and 5 extra books, so it's a lot.
How can you like? I feel that's the kind of series you had to read them when they came out, because now to actually catch up on
Definitely.
everything is just like
And I
hard.
think nowadays they wouldn't age. They didn't age well.
No. I mean, like, there is a new book in the Twilight series after 15 years. So,
That's a good argument.
I mean, yeah. But so many authors, like, talking about that, like, I don't have anything against that new book, etc. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to listen to rants because rants are so fun. But a lot of authors actually do that. Like, they write a book and then they write the exact same book from someone else's point of view. And I always feel confused by that. I don't have anything against it. I just don't understand. Is it because we, as readers, we ask for more and we want more from that? Like, we don't want to leave that world behind, that authors actually do that? Or is it because they actually know it worked, so they're trying to continue doing that? I don't know.
I think it's like a mixture, or like it really depends on the book, because like sometimes it is really that I'm interested in how this character would see things, because maybe they are like very unique in their personality, and sometimes it's like, well, it was a fan favorite. Could it bring me money, or could I get something out of this? So it really depends, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and they also share marijuana user all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do. Yeah.
Oh, yes. It's why Miss Harry Potter. It's a. Okay, now I'm kind of intrigued.
but it's kind of true. It actually is. And the magic system, no matter how bad these books are, the magic system is actually pretty good. Like, it's like elemental and.
Yes, eh?
Yeah, it's like elemental and energy, and like they're working like with the Nyx, the night goddess. It's really interesting.
I shouldn't read it. I should not read it. But a vampire magic high school. I mean, that's not a rant. I'm not calling that a rant. I'm waiting for the rant. Please convince me not to read it. Oh my god, but all I knew is just telling. Yeah, but actually, a lot. Yeah, because I discovered that recently. Like, I think it was yesterday, that actually the Twilight series is not 4 books long. It has 2 other books, like a mini one and another one. I didn't know about them. That's telling you what kind of fan I am. But yeah, and apparently that's going to be a retelling for the 3rd time. Like, I'm just like, and also like for the City of Bones series and the Infernal Devices kind of thing. So when I discovered that, actually, like, I found the 2 stories very similar, just with different name. And actually, a few days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, I cannot remember, she said that it was actually a fan fiction of her own book. And I'm just like, how can you write a fan fiction of your books? So yeah, someone is laughing out loud, and it's
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
funny.
I just wanted to say I'm so sorry if you can hear the background noise. Apparently, there's a very interesting film running in the living room. I'm very
Oh,
sorry for that.
no, it's fun. It's fun actually. So no worries.
I'm gonna play that back for my mother so she can hear herself laugh.
Oh, money. Yeah, maybe. Also, am I the only one that just gets excited when a bookish friend mentions you in a video? No.
I start blushing and I start almost crying and I get like short breath.
And same. And every time when someone mentions me in the tweet or whatever, just the fact that someone remembered my name makes me happy. So yeah, no, you're definitely not the only one. My Immortal was much better. Is that the second book in the series? I'm still waiting for the rant here.
No, it's not of the House of Night series.
Oh, okay. Then I don't
Maybe
know what it is.
Is it from Twilight or is it a different series? I don't know.
My Immortal? My Immortal? I don't know. Yeah, but it doesn't make me want to hate that book. It makes me want to read it. So
Yeah. I just wanted to say, just read the first one so just you can rant about it because I would be very interested in that.
okay.
It's also not that long.
Okay. Okay, let me put that book here. I'm gonna add it to Trello. Rant video.
We can buddy read it. like maybe
Alright.
a group buddy read or something.
Yeah. If you wanna read a book that everyone is telling you not to read, please join us. There is a Dutch book that is kind of the grown-up version of Harry Potter. I love the first book, but I can't play the end of the sequel. Oh, why is it only in Dutch though? Like, no, but true. Like sometimes, like the We Were Children series, I'm waiting for that series to get translated in French so I can give it to my mom. To my mom, to my mom. Like I want that series to be translated. Hello. Like in the sequel, the MC gets more naive and they use a romantic plot device that makes it
yeah.
I hate it when characters act out of their usual character in the books, like when they randomly jump between extremes and it's not logical at all.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
I believe I know what we're all gonna read this night.
There is one that I love fan fiction, but I don't think it was in French or whatever. But I used to write fan fictions about the Marauders. I love the Marauders.
Oh, the Marauders.
But now when you okay, my Immortal, we're gonna add everything. Okay, but I'm still waiting for the rant. Like you didn't rant about the book. Also, why is it in YA fantasy that they always put useless romances in there that aren't needed?
Yes.
Hard agree.
I feel it's because of the age. Like you get your first crush or whatever after 14, 12, etc., and until 18. No, but I mean that's
yeah, I know.
in theory, like on paper. So I feel like they kind of showing you what's never going to happen in life. Wait, that's true. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a muggle or whatever, but I think it's the age thing. That's what I love about middle grades. Middle grades, it's all about adventures, friendships, and also like morality that you say in English, like moral messages, etc. So I really love middle grades for that. I think book 2 of House of Night is a must read because it really hits spot on the badness of the series. But I want to know that spot of the badness of the series. You're doing a bad job.
The thing is, I would tell you something about, but in my mind they all flow together because like I read them when I was like 11, and then like up to the 8th book when they were out, and then I read them as they came out. So it's all mushed up in my mind.
Yeah, I also read The House of Night. I think the first couple of books, in the series was interesting. Interesting, I guess. Or is interesting a word in English? I'm not sure. Sorry, but I never finished the series. But I understand why people didn't have that series ate a mess at the end.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted my orders book so
Yeah.
badly. You know what?
Yeah.
I prayed for that. I wanted my orders book, but then I was like, okay, then she's gonna write it and destroy everything I had in my head
Yes.
about my
Yeah.
orders. So better imagining it. I mean, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Mm.
there is Ashpay thing written by an extremely Christian mom, and I watched a video about someone talking about it. A friend linked it, and I was almost crying out loud. Harry
That's
Potter is
interesting.
actually a book that was banned in so many countries, in
Mm.
case you didn't
Mm.
know, because magic is witchcraft and witchcraft,
It's evil.
exactly. So, yeah, um, everyone's different. But yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, people at that age want love interest. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think. Like, and then when you go to new adult, you start having like sex scenes, etc., etc. I feel like it's just in theory following your ages,
Yeah.
interest, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Mm. Definitely.
My immortal is bad, amazing. But don't say amazingly bad. And the story it's really trash fire. For some reason, it turned out she was half Greek, which makes perfect sense for a Greek to write astonishing bad. Okay, but I'm yeah. But don't say amazingly bad because that's actually a good bad. But being asexual, and even though I'm not a romantic, I'm like, hello, why are you just not getting to the point with throwing romance in there?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's why I love middle grades. Again.
Gotta start
So
reading that more.
yeah, but really, that's, I mean, middle grades, it's just about the story. It's not about,
Mm.
but I don't have anything against like books with romance, etc., as long as it's not the main
Mm.
plot kind of thing.
Mm.
But
And
yeah.
as long as it's well done, instead of just like we've got a character A and a character B, and they should be together.
Are you
Because
getting
that's mostly what
tired?
happens.
Oh. No, I was just listening and reading the comments already ahead.
Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna wrap this up. I never heard of House of Night, but now yes, exactly. He did a bad job. I'm making sure that you don't read it. So now we all gonna read it. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. The video is by a YouTuber called Stranger Owns.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
The question Harry Potter.
Okay. Mm.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do tonight. Okay, Stranger Owns. Okay. If you have anything else we should not watch or not read, please let me know. But for now, I think we're gonna wrap this up because we've been talking for over 2 years. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm already happy. Next
Yeah.
month
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm already so
but-
excited.
Yeah, so please follow the Twitter because we're gonna have some poll because you actually picked the theme topic for this time, so Booktube 101. I don't know what's gonna be next time. If you have anything you would like us to do, just let us know. We're gonna have Twitter poll and Instagram poll, etc. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. And yeah, do you have anything else to share before we leave?
Thank you for the comments and thank you for the interactions. It was very interesting, very funny.
Yeah.
and maybe we should do that.
Okay, the Bookussion is going to read a book that you're not supposed to want to read. Yeah.
Maybe we could make that a series like books you should never read. Let's do that now.
Let's run together.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It was really fun. And the interaction was
Mm.
great. You guys were so active, and that what made the whole thing so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And we also talked way longer than we actually thought we would.
Yes.
That really surprised me. I really thought we were already like gonna wrap up and then off. But it was nice, really fun.
Yeah.
I was
Told you
really
1 hour wasn't enough. But yeah, okay. You girls, you can stay. I'm just gonna end that broadcast. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're gonna let you know when it's gonna be the next time. Hope you're good. Good night, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I don't know where you are, but yeah, love you and bye bye.
Bye bye.